Hi, my name is Samuel Burns and I am presenting the third assessment, which is modifying the curriculum to support inclusiveness. I will be displaying the lesson plan on the left and my slides on the right, which is the content for this assignment. I did the last assignment with my partner Andrew. We decided to do teaching counting. Me and my partner's role was working to establish what modifications needed to be made in order to cater to students of different levels of comprehension. The students in this lesson are Alex, Ben, Eliza, Max, and Owen, and they all fall between B and D year levels of the Victorian curriculum. Each student has been diagnosed with Down syndrome. As such, these lessons have been designed to cater to their strengths. All of them need time to take part in the lesson and need to be positively reinforced. The assessment was based on whether they were on their responses to the questions, both verbally and non-verbally, as well as acknowledgement of the correct answers. Each students fall between level B to D of the maths curriculum. B is the lowest point, which is counting up to 3. Level D is counting up to 10 in a variety of formats. When it came to planning, the lessons are planned around how to keep students engaged in the lesson, giving students multiple ways to take part in the way that they see fit. To do this, we used the book The Hungry Caterpillar, as it was relatively simple, it was colourful, it was nice to look at, and was engaging for the students. It was also a good starting point for the topic. What we went about presenting would be done through watching a video on the topic, as well as playing along with a song with boom records. The lessons are planned around routine and cater to transitions and rewarding positive behaviour. Teaching strategies involved were mainly focused on engaging the students in the topic, give them multiple ways to help them retain information. The lessons themselves are mainly focused on ICT. Students with Down syndrome tend to struggle with short-term memory. As such, we gave students laminated sheets which they could point to if they needed to. This is due to them having strengths in visual, spatial, and the visual motor skills. And also they show a preference to gestures over vocal communication. Boom whackers are these musical instruments which can be hit together. They allow students to engage in the lesson rather than sitting and listening. Hand gestures were used alongside instructions. Students were rewarded with positive reinforcement when displaying positive behaviour, such as they could have the first pick of the boom whackers. Laminated papers with pictures allowed students to point to them and other than point to them to answer questions. And in the last lesson, they were able to take them out of a pile as they were pre-cut and had Velcro on the back of them. In regards to staffing would be organised so there would be one teacher giving all of the instructions, while the other staff members would aid students individually, help them stay on track. All staff members would work together to organise transitions between lessons and to aid with different issues each student may have, which requires communication beforehand and during the lessons, such as if they may need to refer to the student in a third person to help get instructions across. The lessons will modify based on each student's specific needs. As Max, he needs physical contact and is nonverbal and can be overwhelmed by stimuli. So when that happens, he may need some space to himself, some quiet time. He will also need some time to process the instructions. Owen will attempt communication and does need positive reinforcement, so whenever that does happen, it is good to give him encouragement. Alex tends to move around and fidget if not provided the stimuli to interact with. For example, he may chew on the laminated sheets, therefore it would be advisable to be provided with a chew if that happens. Eliza is non-verbal but is familiar with gestures as well as key signing, but is overly dependent on staff members for help. As such, she needs to learn independence for herself. She's fairly in the same boat as Alex. She just needs a little more room to work on the tasks herself. Ben doesn't attend classes due to poor health. Therefore, he may be unfamiliar with specific routines and with different means of communication. So during transitions, he may need help getting to the line-up area. And that is my assignment. Thank you for listening.